Alright guys, welcome to another honey hole angling video. Today we are tying an extended body foam hopper. Zach is on the vise and he is going to start by tying the extended body on. If you want to know how to make an extended body, we made a separate video and we'll link it in the description and up above, I think in the top right hand corner. So go check that out if you want to know how to make the extended body. So Zach, what are you doing right now?
So notice with the extended body, I started with the final joint, the final segment we made when we made the body. That's where I tied this in because I want it to hang from that point. And we have our two pieces of foam. I open wrapped my thread all the way up to the eye, locking in that bottom piece of foam. I'm going to open wrap back. So you should end up with some X's of thread. I don't want to compress all of the thread down because I want to keep some bulk in that body to help this thing float and just to make it a little thicker, a little beefier. So we've got our top piece of foam still hanging free, bottom piece is tied in. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take some dubbing. Now this fly is really good in Texas for the river, going after Guadalupe bass, sunfish, you know, pretty much any warm water species we have. You could, in theory, although it's kind of ugly, you could use it as like a Hexagenia mayfly almost. It's going to end up having that color and kind of that shape. Even golden stonefly for a very simple stonefly pattern up north for trout.
Or just a good old classic yellow grasshopper.
Yellow grasshopper, yep. So I made a dubbing noodle on my thread and I'm just going to dub this body. This is a really simple fly. I'm gonna add a little more dubbing to it. It's not the most extravagant or most fancy looking fly out there, but the point is it's effective.
I don't know, the extended body's pretty fancy, Zach.
I don't know, man. It's, I guess technically, but
it's not super hard.
Yeah, no, it's easy. All right, so we got our foam body. Now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna fold this piece forward and tie it in. All right, so now we have our main carapace there. Next, I'm gonna get some yellow deer hair. If a grasshopper lands on the water, it's gonna have its wings trying to get off of the water. Its wings are gonna be open and extended. It's gonna be trying to get itself free. We want those wings to stick out. Plus, if you have the hair up there, it's going to help imitate other bugs as well. So you want a thicker clump of the, not too thick, but you want it enough so it'll be visible in the water, just to help imitate wings. And that one was just a little bit too thin. And I skipped a step that I prefer to show you guys. All right, so I got my new clump. Let's see, a little straggler there. I'm gonna measure it out this time, about where I want it, and shit, and then I'm gonna cut it before I tie it in. We'll change it up a little bit. So I'm gonna hold it right where I cut it. 1, 2, pinching the sides, I pull straight down since we have a bigger clump this time. Couple wraps, there we go. I like that a lot better.
Looks good.
A lot better. Okay, now if you want to, you can go in here and you can trim up these butt ends a little bit because it's going to get covered up. But it's going to help add some buoyancy. Buoyancy?
Buoyancy?
Buoyancy? Is that how you say it? Buoyancy.
It's going to make it float better.
Yes, it's going to make it float like a cork. This top piece of foam, I'm going to trim it about the height, right about in front of that hair. This bottom piece of foam, I'm going to fold it over that hair. And notice I have not progressed my thread forward. I'm going to take this, capture that foam, and now our hopper has a head. Okay. We could trim that foam off. Leave a little bit of a cape there, a little bit of a bump. Now what we'll do is we'll take I've got some round rubber legs. Again, my thread is still in the same spot. I'm gonna capture it. Do it 1 or 2, oops, They spun. So one thing about tying with foam is it does spin around the hook fairly easily. You could, if you wanted to, when you're locking down that bottom clump of foam in the beginning of the fly, you could super glue it and it'll alleviate that problem. But these flies are so easy to tie, and even though they spin, since it's foam, it's still really durable. You don't really have to worry about it. If you notice it spun on your hook, you can just spin it back. Now I'm going to take that same color dubbing, just a little bit to pretty it up. Again, my thread is still in the same spot that I left it. It has not moved. Cover up my thread wraps. We will whip finish. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is, foam hopper. Got our wing here, it's got a bulbous head, it's got legs. You can trim those legs up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Boom. Trim the legs up so they match a little better if you want to. Again, extended body, very buggy, floats like a cork. Again, it'll spin on the hook a little bit if you don't glue it, but that's okay. Sunfish, bass, trout, redfish, tarpon, whatever you want to throw it at. If you can get them to eat, it'll work. You might want to get a bigger hook for the saltwater though.
All right, guys, thanks for watching the video, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.